I got two things again.
Oh. All right. Let's show us what's in the box. Top secret.
First one is for Grizz.
Oh.
What?
Hang on. What do we got?
Keep going, though, man. You're doing good. Yes! Dude, you punched the fuck out of that, man.
Holy fucking shit!
So good. Yo, Captain Pear.
I didn't know what was going on, man.
Fucking got him.
Fucking got him, dude. Holy shit.
Dude, good game. Fucking good game. Are you ready?
I knew it!
Cap, look at my fish.
Oh, wow.
It's my little buddy. Ready? Bitch!
Always have to steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal my kisses from you.
I got two things again.
Oh. All right. Let's show us what's in the box. Top secret.
First one is for Grizz.
Oh.
What?
Hang on. What do we got?
Keep going, though, man. You're doing good. Yes! Dude, you punched the fuck out of that, man.
Holy fucking shit!
So good. Yo, Captain Pear.
I didn't know what was going on, man.
Fucking got him.
Fucking got him, dude. Holy shit.
Dude, good game. Fucking good game. Are you ready?
I knew it!
Cap, look at my fish.
Oh, wow.
It's my little buddy. Ready? Bitch!
Always have to steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal those kisses from you. Always have to steal my kisses from you.
I got two things again.
Oh. All right. Let's show us what's in the box. Top secret.
First one is for Grizz.
Oh.
What?
Hang on. What do we got?
Keep going, though, man. You're doing good. Yes! Dude, you punched the fuck out of that, man.
Holy fucking shit!
So good. Yo, Captain Pear.
I didn't know what was going on, man.
Fucking got him.
Fucking got him, dude. Holy shit.
Dude, good game. Fucking good game. Are you ready?
I knew it!
Cap, look at my fish.
Oh, wow.
It's my little buddy. Ready? Bitch!
Always have to steal those kisses from you. Are we live?
We are live.
Yo! How the
Hello.
fricks are going? Welcome. How you doing? Spork? Strops? G'day, Eric. G'day, mate.
G'day,
How are ya?
Eric. How are you, mate?
Hope you're doing
Strops.
well.
Morning, legends.
Hope you're doing well.
Strops, first time viewer on the Twitch stream, long time listener on the Spotify app. What a legend.
Hells yeah, brother. Hells yeah, brother.
How is everyone today? You guys all good? Yo, Infernox. G'day,
Hey,
mate.
g'day, mate. How are you? Chris, go shave again.
Dude, I got this fucking sick new pair of Clippers cap that it actually takes a physical razor blade, dude, and it actually shaves as well as clippering. It's nuts.
Shit.
Yeah.
Shaves as well as clippering.
Yeah. So this is with the Clippers, mate. This is a Clipper shave.
Oh, that's
What
pretty
does that
good.
even mean?
All right. So you know how it's got a razor blade in it.
Okay.
So it actually fucking like it does a mixture of whatever.
Right,
and you
okay.
can put this thing on it and you can like do the full body with it as well. It's like
I don't know if you can tell. I don't use them very often.
No, what's a razor blade? Love it.
All right. Where the fuck is the thing I'm looking for?
What are you looking for, Capo? Every episode,
doing
dang,
well, mate.
Strops, that's
Inferno?
wicked, mate. How are you finding it, Strops? Are you enjoying it, mate?
Have you noticed a improvement in quality over time? Is something I'm interested in knowing.
And do you actually watch the video podcast? That's what I'm keen to know. Like the video Spotify version.
Very curious.
Guys,
Very curious. All right.
I don't know if Wi-Fi was a better idea for tonight.
Is it
Really?
not looking
Is it
good,
fucked?
Pat?
It's there's not as many drops, but there's been still been a couple of like the buffers.
I saw Cap like lagging around
Yeah.
on the screen before.
Yeah.
Well, look, we'll just have to do what we can, man. You're on your internet soon. So,
Yeah.
Wow. It might be more than internet.
I might
Hey,
yeah,
g'day,
baby.
Deb. G'day, Sly.
Evan Sly.
Fucking legend. Here's it fucking going.
I was
People
supposed
arrive.
to bring this up
Fucking
before
heavy.
we went live. But how do you guys feel about
How do
a
we feel
about
about
a week off next week?
Really?
Yep,
Sure.
doesn't bother me, mate.
If you need it.
I also need to push a Monday to a Tuesday, but I can't remember the date. But I'll let you guys know.
How about you, chat? How do you guys feel about a week off? Bad fucking luck is happening.
Because maybe I will. Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe I could do a gaming stream or something from the OGR channel.
Yeah, we'll
Or-
get something
I don't know.
happening.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
we're having
content.
issues. Basically, we have to get rid of Pav, unfortunately.
No, it's about time.
Just, you know.
What are you doing, Pav? What are you doing, mate? What are
No,
you-
no, just because next week I'll have my house be move-in ready as well as like
Yeah, you can't be doing that.
Yeah, man. No, we'll absolutely take a week off.
yeah. So then with a week off, I should have everything sorted, so we don't have to
Don't
worry
worry,
about these.
Grizz is
audio
going
issues.
to write the podcast out in its full entirety.
Eric is not happy
As
about a
a-
week off. Look at it.
No week off. Look, I'll
I'm just
chat.
going to write it as a fiction novel.
Maybe I'll chat to you guys after the episode. See how if there's a way we can.
No. We're about to start, Deb. Sorry.
But
Just talking
Just
shit.
talking shit.
oh yeah, I'll chat to you guys after the episode and see if we can figure something out.
Yeah, man.
But
All
No,
good.
it's fine, mate. Just fucking do it. It's all good.
for now,
baby.
how about we jump
Dick
on?
energy, Eric. That's what they call it.
How about we get stuck right into it? Man, I'm tired as well.
I'm
Yeah,
tired
you
too.
fuckers. I'm feeling fresh as the day, boys.
I'm at the point where I feel a little bit delirious.
All right.
Let's fucking punch it.
Give it the sherbets.
Got Sukai here? G'day and welcome to Oceanic Gaming Radio, where we pick apart the week's gaming topics, news, reviews, everything in between. We do it with a smile on our face and a bit of banter under our shoulder blade. I don't know. Anyways, welcome. How you doing? Thank you for being here. My name is Captain Perth. You can call me Cap or Liam if you want to get really personal. And alongside me are my good friends, Mr. Tim, Grizzly Gaming 86, and Pavlich Pavlovich.
G'day,
Pav
Liam.
Leatherface.
How are
That was,
you,
that
mate?
was close.
Oh, that feels weird, doesn't it? I don't like that.
Yeah. I was like,
You're not allowed to say Liam. We're going with
Yeah.
Cap. Now, how the frick are we going, fellas? Pav, how you feeling, buddy?
I want to hear Pav's story. Pav had a cracker weekend of a Friday night.
Dude,
Tell me about that, Pav. What happened?
I had a
Yeah.
huge weekend. So for those of you who don't know, one of my good friends runs a little gaming nerd clubbing event in Perth. It's called Respawn. I tend to get up on stage and host the cosplay competition at the end of the night. An absolute
Sick.
blast every time. If you want to check out,
Who was the winner, Pav? Who won
Oh,
the cosplay competition?
it was it was the party trooper. It was it was a stormtrooper, like
oh,
in neon yellow, like with Adidas
Oh.
logos, pumping like a jukebox.
oh, that's actually
Absolute
pretty
jam.
dope.
It was incredible. If you go check on my my Twitter, there's a little TikTok made by the venue, and it like encapsulates the night pretty well.
Encapsulates the whole night.
Hell
that's,
really
yeah,
good.
dude.
Twitter.com or whatever it is /Pav
I'll-
Leatherface.
I'll chuck a link in chat, but you can find it
we'll
on
chuck
Twitter
in
and
the
the
description
socials.
of this podcast as well. So if you do want to go and check that out, and you're interested in Perth local meetups and shit, you can go and
Yeah,
check
Hell
that
it's,
out.
yeah.
good fun.
Sounds like you had a good weekend.
Dude, loved it. Take me back. It was one of the best
Take me
events I've been
back
to in
to
a
the-
long time. Really, really
Yeah,
good.
nice, dude. Fuck
Absolute
yeah,
jam.
awesome. And
Do
Grizzly,
you know
how about
what
you, mate?
the low light of my weekend was, Cap? Seeing
No.
you for like the fourth weekend in a row.
Low light? What do you mean?
No, I'm kidding, man. I'm kidding. It was actually
Mate.
fucking good though.
That's fucking that. Not many people get that privilege. My wife
No.
really gets it.
I wanted to bring this up, Cap. How did you rate? So Cap and I, we got a friend over from Sydney at the moment, and we went to a burger place that I reckon it was easily top 5 burger I've ever consumed. What would you say?
Oh, dude, absolutely. I would say, yeah. I can't really think of many burgers that trumps it, to be quite honest. It was that good. So it's a place in Leederville, Perth, called Bad Love Burger Co. And what did I got one called a cherry bomb that it was like fuck, what was in mine, Grizz? I can't remember. It was a smash burger, but you know when people say smash burgers, it's just a really thin patty, and then this one was like caramelized, like meat
yeah.
on the edges of the
That's
patty.
what
It was-
made them, dude. Like we've
Jesus
had other
Christ.
smash burgers, but like the crispiness around the outside of the patty, however they did that, the caramelization, oh, unbelievable.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Even the
No, it
chips,
was
Cap.
nuts.
The chips didn't
Yeah.
need sauce. That's how good
Oh
they
man!
were.
Well, the chips had like that little sort of sweet paprika thing going on with a bit of smoky sweet paprika. It was just orgasmic. Yeah,
Bad.
no, big fan of it. Absolutely. But did you have anything else on the weekend?
I
Grizz?
did,
Anything you wanna
mate.
tell
I
the
did.
class about?
On Sunday, I jammed with my band. We are called the Tonesmiths, and we learnt a bunch of new songs, Cap. We ended up throwing a total of 6 new songs into the set list.
Wow,
Eagle Rock,
Jesus.
a country classic, mate. That
Oh, yeah.
goes down pretty well. The Eagles also had their first win, West Australian
sure.
football, on the weekend. So
Oh,
also
of course.
coincides with that. Blinding Lights by The Weekend, Cap. Do you like The Weekend? Yeah, good one.
Yeah, I do. I just can't remember how. I know how the song kind of goes, but not quite.
Anyway, it's a good song. Fleetwood Mac's song. We wanted to learn at least one Fleetwood Mac song.
Which
so
one
we
did you
learned
go with?
Dreams.
Oh yeah.
Do you know
Yeah,
Dreams?
with the is that the one that has like the at the beginning?
I
Or is
think
that saying bum
I
ba-dum, bum 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 ba-da-bum ba-dum,
No,
bum bum?
not that one.
Okay. What song's that? Bum ba-dum, bum bum. Can I hear you coming? And your name.
That's a music podcast now, you guys. That's it. That's not that one. It's a different one. But
Okay,
I do like
leave a
that
different one.
song. But now,
Okay.
Cap, have you seen the Elvis movie yet?
No, I haven't actually.
Okay, so well, it would actually kind of coincide this, but I feel like since the Elvis movie, there's been a lot of talk. Elvis was on the front of what's that magazine that the homeless people sell, Cap, in Australia?
The Big Issue.
The Big Issue, on the front of Big Issue, everywhere, all over the media. So we learnt a couple of Elvis songs, Blue Suede Shoes and Hound Dog, and both of them rock. They are like really solid
literally
cover songs.
They're fucking rock songs, mate. Yeah. Very cool. Well, that sounds fucking excellent, mate. And what was that? All the songs?
Yeah, that was the new ones we've learned. Yep. So we've got 3 sets. We actually got an upcoming gig in Perth. If anyone would like to come, reach out to me.
Yeah,
I can give you the dates. It is free. Anyway, that's another story. Yeah, so we're just we're doing a 30 song gig sometime next month, mid-July. So we're just learning. Yeah, learning a bunch.
Dooly. That's a lot of.
They
songs,
asked for us to exclusively play the oldies, so we had to get rid of the Green Day and the Blink and fucking System of the Down and all the random stuff that is a bit heavier in the set and put in some classics, mate. You know.
Yep. No, that makes a lot of sense, mate. Now, you got to tell them about the best, well, not the best part, probably the worst part for your guitarist, but what befell your guitarist.
Yeah, that's very true. Yes.
Yeah,
so
you'd be like,
about...
we had this sick jam and like just completely glossed over this like pretty hectic part.
All right, so the guitarist stepped on a porcupine fish, and when he rang the poison hotline, they were like, "Yeah, you need to get to emergency immediately because it's like some of them are really, really poisonous, like kill you poisonous kind of thing."
Yeah.
So it spined him quite bad, and he took some photos of it. But he got there at like lunchtime, and he was there for 4 hours under observation, essentially. And they've like take photos and did all the stuff. But
did they hit him
come
with
out all
anti-venom?
good? No, they didn't do anything like that. It was more of just like a watch and see, I think, waiting to see whether he was going downhill or not. But
did his feet blow up or his foot?
so he had well, I'm actually not. He looked fine. He didn't show me the sting or anything. From what I understand, that I went in a fair way. It was just like I think like a fair way cap. When I say a fair way, like a good inch or so. Like
Must have been a pebble fish, mate.
Decent fucking spine, mate.
Not quite a stonefish yet. Pebble fish.
Oh my god!
I'm sorry.
You're prepping for the dad jokes, aren't you, Cafe? Prepping for October, mate. Get him out now.
Oh my god! I'm not gonna be able to fucking stop laughing after that one. Anyways, I need to collect myself. All right. Yeah. So
what about you? What happened? What happened on your weekend, Cap? What else? Saturday, Sunday.
What did happen? Oh, okay. So first things first. For those who are worried about me because of my hearing issues I've been having, don't worry. I had a hearing test on Friday. The audiologist said I've got amazing hearing, all good, well and truly within normal limits. It's just apparently a lot of people after having had COVID are getting now. Someone correct me. Is it tinnitus or is it tinnitus? I don't fucking know. I think it's tinnitus.
Tinnitus?
Okay, I've been calling it tinnitus, but I kind of thought it was like a bit of
tomato. Tinnitus. I don't know.
Tomato kind of thing. But anyways, whatever you like, it's one of those two. So I've had that, and she reckons that there's a lot of like post-COVID tinnitus happening, and so she reckons that what happened was it weakened my eardrums probably, and then the gig probably went, and then now my ears are going all the time. So yeah. Anyways, I'll be fine. It could take up to 6 months to go away, or maybe it'll never go away. So we'll see what happens.
Is it still doing it? It's still no good, Capo. Still no good.
Yeah, it's still going. Still going like a hound dog, mate, as Elvis would say. So yeah, there you go. But yeah, so that was on Friday night. Now obviously caught up with you on Saturday. Sunday was a huge day for me. Some of our lattice in our front yard fell down in the last storm we had. So my dad came around and gave me a hand to put up a brand new set of lattice, did a bunch of plumbing, and also went to the gym. And by the time I was finished, we started about 8:30. It's like 5 o'clock, and today I am just super cooked. Absolutely,
you're a bit tired,
cooked.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So
basically, I've done absolutely sweet fuck all on this run sheet. So Grizz has been the champion today. I have gone over the stories. Don't you worry, guys at home. This is going to be a scintillating conversation, regardless of Cap's involvement in the crafting of of the run sheet. But don't you worry, it's going to be great.
Bit of
We do have a fair
Anchorman
bit.
moments in here, Cap. Bit of Anchorman moments for sure.
Which moment was that, mate? Was that the one where the
Hi,
bloke's
I'm
holding-
Rod Burgundy.
I am Ron Burgundy. Very good. Yeah. Anyways, we've got a lot of stuff on the agenda, but before I give you guys a bit of a overview of what you can expect in today's show, we just wanted to do a real quick thank you to our wonderful, wonderful Patreons. Thank you so much to Sukai, Moosey, Hohen Honey, Caging Runt, and Sergeant Paul for your ongoing contributions to the OGR coffers. We appreciate it big time, and every single cent is going straight to the Stonefish Foundation. So there you go. All right. So what can you expect today? Well, a lot of things have happened. And in fact, can you believe it? Gaming news is just such a dynamic industry. Things happening all the time. But yeah, we've got a bit of Final Fantasy 16 news, a few details leaking out of the leaky boat that is Square Enix. There's a lot of stuff going with Blizzard. Good, bad, ugly, mostly ugly to be quite honest. But yeah, we'll drop that all on you, soon. So hang in there. From Software, the creators of games such as Elden Ring and Elden Ring, they have got some stuff in the works. I'm going to tell you all about that as well. Sucker Punch, they're the guys who made Ghost of Tsushima, and I believe they also did that superhero one that's not quite Infamous.
Oh yeah, it's a good game.
They did do that. Yep. So they've got some new shit happening too, and we've obviously got this week's poll and we've got the poll and the quickfire round. So strap yourself in. Pav, actually, I just realised we don't have the poll URL in here, mate. So if you could round that up and chuck that in the spreadsheet, that'd be fucking sweet. Thank you.
Already in
Anyways,
the chat.
Oh, love you. Aren't you
Mighty
gorgeous? Beautiful. All right, so Grizz, first cab off the rank, my friend. Final Fantasy 16, the brand new iteration that's coming to us this year, I believe. Hopefully, or is it start of next year? Either. It's not going to be fully open world. How does that bother you?
I was curious to know what you thought of this, Cap, but I didn't play the last Final Fantasy. I didn't play 15, and that was apparently open world. But the Final Fantasies that I played back in the day, number 7, 8, and 9, they were pretty much how they're describing this one was going to be. So they're kind of saying they're going to be stylized areas which will have freedom to explore within those areas, not necessarily open world, but just kind of like, large areas. And that to me sounds kind of what I experienced through 7 in particular, where you get your chocobo and you're kind of cruising around different bits and pieces. Yeah. So this wasn't a huge surprise to me. In fact, it would have been more a surprise to me if I heard Final Fantasy 16 was open world. What about you, Capo? How do you feel about this one?
I'm glad it's at least partially open world. I think, in all honesty, I think a lot of the more linear Final Fantasies have been my least favorite, and I do enjoy some sort of partial open world environment where I can encounter monsters and do that sort of turn-based or action turn-based JRPG combat that they've got going on. But I'm not surprised that it's going to be partially open world. I'm glad. I think this is probably a better way to. Now, this is one interesting thing that the developers have sort of said about the reasoning behind why they want to do this is because I think it'll kind of help to give players. Now, I'm literally reading verbatim here, so give players a better feel of a truly global scale. So I guess the idea there is because obviously when you're developing something, there's only so much time you can put in. So if, for example, Elden Ring, I mean, you think about the map, the size of that, it does feel huge, but it doesn't give you the idea that you're on a planet or a couple of different continents. You feel like you're on an island. Would you agree, Grizz?
Yeah, I definitely agree, and that's kind of the way that I see it as well. So I think it kind of works. It gives you more. I mean, this is going completely different game here, Cap. But when you talk about Pokemon, the new Pokemon Arceus, and you talk
Absolutely,
about
great
open
example.
world, you kind of lose a little bit of the granularity in those environments when you've got them so expansive, and you kind of lose detail and bits and pieces. Where I think a stylized area that is open, you don't really have that issue because you've got, I guess, less that you can focus on to design. So I don't know. I think this is okay news for this. It doesn't, not a surprise to me. Kat, there's another bit in this article that I want to focus in on here. So Yoshida said that his team have been influenced by AAA open world RPGs, although he declined to specify specific titles.
I'm going to tell you right now, I bet you it's stuff like Arceus.
Oh, I was thinking it was going to be Elden Ring, and they might be learning bits and pieces
Well,
from that.
think about Elden Ring, though. It's
applying
one
it.
continuous piece of area, right? So, I mean, this seems to be deviating a little bit from that. I honestly think they're going to be going something similar to what Arceus does. So it's and even Monster Hunter. Like you think about how you have these zones that you kind of go into to achieve some kind of task. It does look like the kind of general storyline seems to follow this person who's called a dominant, who's going out to possess these things called icons, which are these big gods that inhabit the world and people pray to and all that kind of shit. But and it seems like that's going to sort of take up a lot of the way your combat's going to work in that game. So ultimately, I think the different areas, because I think it's suggesting maybe there's about 5 or 6 different areas that you'll go through. I'm kind of feeling like this is going to be like mini open world exploration areas, and then the focus will be at the end of that area, or once you complete that area or do whatever you're supposed to do there, you're probably going to encounter the icon, which will then open up your combat options because you'll now have all these different powers that are associated with that particular deity or whatever. So I think that's probably how it's going to feel.
Specifically around that comment, what inspiration do you reckon that they might have taken? What little snippets and bits and pieces do you think from, say, Monster Hunter World or even Arceus to apply
think, honestly,
to this,
I think the way that you travel around, because there's another part in this article, or just in the interview that they had with Yoshida, who is one of the main designers, just saying that they felt like a lot of the younger generation was kind of disconnected from Final Fantasy overall as a franchise, which is interesting because in my mind, Final Fantasy is one of the easiest franchises to get involved with because there's very little fucking continuity between their stories, if at all, a lot of the time. Like, most of the Final Fantasies take place in their own kind of moment in this sort of shared universe, but really they're all disconnected stories. Obviously they have those little elements that kind of flow through, like your chocobos and your summons and all that kind of shit. But
the gods and stuff. Yeah.
But I think ultimately, Grizz, as far as I'm concerned, I think what they're going to be going for is maybe trying to emulate some of the more popular open world franchises that have happened recently. So I definitely think, things like maybe Arceus, just the way that kind of interconnection kind of works and how you can choose where you want to go and then off you go, do your thing. But yeah, I suppose it'll be interesting to see how the story plays out and how that interacts with the actual open world areas.
So Cap, you mentioning that, and it's in that article as well, but the fact that they're looking to leverage off a newer player base, just thinking about the success of Final Fantasy Online, I wonder whether they're trying to make this game appeal to those who maybe have dabbled in online or are playing online, that see this new Final Fantasy release and kind of making it maybe more accessible with a new story, a bit of a new look, maybe a slightly new feel to bring some of those people to the IP.
I definitely think there's going to be some maybe parallels between online and this new game. I mean, seems like there's a lot of artistic kind of parallels between just some of the design choices for things in online and with this game, probably more so in the way that the summons have been designed. But also, I believe Yoshida is, now maybe I'm getting mixed up, but I'm pretty sure he's heavily involved with online anyway. So I think bringing him into the game, or 16 as a design consultant, is a smart move because everyone loves that guy, and will just sort of automatically bring online players across just because they enjoy what he crafts, essentially. So, but I think when it comes down to this kind of idea of onboarding newer players, I think it's going to be really interesting, Grizz, because it looks like the story is hopefully, in my opinion, hopefully a bit more gritty, because I think Final Fantasy in recent times has suffered from a bit of cringiness and maybe just a little bit of simplicity when it comes to its stories. So hopefully they can get a bit more complexity and grittiness to their stories.
Even like the voice acting and stuff, and some of the art styles as well, a little bit cutesy and I guess, for a lack of a better verbiage on this, but not very graphic, not very violent and graphic. And the trailer that we saw, the release trailer, definitely looked like it was a bit of a different offering in that respect. The voice acting was, from what we heard, was really good, and it looked a bit darker and a little bit more gritty. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
had kind of a bit of a Game of Thrones kind of thing going, which I know we've kind of mentioned on the podcast before, but it definitely, there's like moments in that trailer where, there's been a bit of sex involved or something, and, they're kind of sitting after they've gone at it and having a bit of a conversation post lovemaking.
Ooh la
So
la.
just the real gritty stuff, So maybe we'll see some genitals in there. I don't know, Grizz. We'll I doubt it, but we'll see.
So
strange.
neither of
they're
us
doing
are
it in
disappointed
Cyberpunk and
that
shit.
it's not. Neither of us are disappointed it's not open world, Cap, is what we're getting at here.
Well, I mean, look, it's not that it's not open world. It's just that it's not as open world as people probably think it
Yep.
might have been.
Yep.
Right. So
Mhm.
it's almost like open world light or mini open world, or multiple open world. I mean, it all depends on what your set, what your buy-in when it comes to open world is, in terms of like how much scale do you accept when you consider something to be open world. Is it just an area that you can roam? Because if that's the case, they've got multiple areas that you can roam. When you think about open world for other games, like things like Assassin's Creed and stuff, is it the fact that we've got all these stupid fucking towers that we have to go and climb just to figure out what's going on in the area before we can do anything? It all comes down to your definition and what you accept. So I think ultimately for me, I think this is probably a good way to reduce the sameness of designing an open world area. If you design one single open world area, that's where you've got to persist. Like, I think a lot of games do suffer from this. Like, you think about things like, I mean, for me, even Assassin's Creed Odyssey, it was just very islands, and that's about it, really. Whereas something like this, you can probably have your fire area, your kind of more watery area, and you can kind of have these little, really sort of handcrafted mini open world areas that are really nice and detailed and have a really nice atmosphere. So
Agreed.
I don't know. It all comes down to execution, doesn't it, Grizz? We always fucking say that on this podcast.
Well, and just matching that up to how the trailer looks, Cap, looked very detailed and stylized. If you had a big open world that wasn't detailed and stylized, it's going to take away from that game a bit. So, yeah, I think this might be a bit of an intelligent design choice. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, I'm pretty keen for it overall, Grizz. I really enjoyed Final Fantasy 15. I thought it was. I actually really enjoyed the movie tie-in as well. I thought that was really good. A lot of people hated
this
it.
This would be my if I was to play this would be my re-entry into the series since Final Fantasy 9. So it's been a long time for me. Yeah, but I think just from what I've seen and what I've heard about this, and maybe I'm more involved because we do this podcast and we learn a lot about video games. But yeah, this might be one that I'll pick up as well.
Absolutely, fruitin', my friend. Well, Grizz, next up, looks like your favorite Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 were due to be remastered, and looks like the old the no thank you very much after Vicarious Visions, the developers of the recent remakes, were absorbed by Blizzard. So probably because they were told to work on other things, I would dare say. What do you think?
Yeah, do you know what they worked on, Kat? They worked on Diablo 2 Resurrected is what that team went to. I put this in here. I know that you're not a massive Tony Hawk's fan, but like I had this period of my life when I was a young little skater boy. It is literally all I played. And when remakes Tony Hawk's 1 and 2 came out, I was really excited for those. And it's not so much, Cap, that Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 are axed now. It's more the fact that there is no longer the studio that made those games to develop any further Tony Hawk's games. And from what kind of Tony Hawk was saying, so where this came about, Cap, was actually a discussion between a Twitch streamer and Tony Hawk talking about the franchise and like, what's happening with the games. So they're going to be numbers 3 and 4 remastered. And it kind of came out that essentially no, with the Activision Blizzard merger, bits and pieces, that the studio behind those games was disbanded and working on other projects. So a little bit sad in my heart, Cap, around the loss of such a nostalgic game for me.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, did you enjoy 3 and 4 more than 1 and 2?
Not really, dude. To be honest, the nostalgia lies for me definitely in 1 and 2, and it's to do with everything to do with like the soundtrack, the way the game plays, and everything else. The remasters were excellent, by the way. They were fucking fantastic.
A lot of people really enjoyed those, man.
They came out at a really bad time though, Cap, because when these games actually came out was when all the Blizzard stuff was going down, and there was kind of like a big boycott Blizzard thing happening at the time. I still gave them the light of day and played these games and enjoyed them. But yeah, I mean, yeah, like I say, the fact that the remasters aren't coming isn't something that I'm so worried about. 3 and 4. Well, I'm just sad that
Do you
that
think,
franchise.
Chris, it's an absolute no, or maybe in the future kind of thing? I mean, obviously, I understand that, when they got absorbed by Blizzard, distribution of resources, like human resources, to work on other projects that Blizzard obviously deemed to be more important. But I would have thought that those games, the 1 and 2 Tony Hawk remakes, would have done pretty well, in my opinion. I don't know what the numbers were like, but
I was actually going to look it up and I completely forgot. I don't know. I assume they did well. They were quite well received in terms of reviews and the quality of the remaster.
yeah.
So I can only assume that they did okay. And I know that there was obviously a bit of a cult following for those games, like, sitting behind the even like this, like you were talking, and was it in the last podcast when we were talking about the skating game? But like the soundtrack to the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater songs, if you hear those on some of those songs on the radio, it's like, oh yeah, I've played this on Tony Hawk's. Like it really holds a special place for a lot of people. It's the soundtrack, it's just everything. So I don't know. Maybe you're right, Cap. Maybe a couple of years down the track, I don't know whether Vicarious Visions will reform under the Activision Blizzard banner to create a skating game or whatnot. But at the moment, Tony Hawk was pretty adamant that done for now, with no vision in sight to be making Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 or 4 remakes. So
I tell you what, though, man, they have a really good track record of excellent remakes. I mean, obviously Diablo 2 and the Tony Hawk's stuff, but they also worked on the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy.
Is that right?
They also, they sure did. They also helped develop Guitar Hero on all fronts by the looks of things. Up to Guitar Hero on Tour, which was when Guitar Hero kind of went a little bit crazy.
Did it? Yeah, okay.
It was just one of those things where, when you try and iterate on something so much to the point where it just is like, I don't know, it just doesn't look like anything it used to. But they also did all the Skylanders stuff, apparently. Well, a lot of it helped develop that. But yeah, it's very interesting, dude. Very interesting. I'm just looking at the wiki article, and it's actually listing cancelled games in here, and Tony Hawk's 3 and 4 are listed as cancelled.
Is it really, dude? Listed as cancelled.
That's official Wikipedia material, mate.
Wow.
So just don't reference it in your academic, uni paper, because you'll get fucked.
I wonder if they had sunk their teeth into that project at all, and then it was kind of like, we just got to ditch this one, or
surely they did, mate. It would have been in pre-production for sure. I mean, I'm sure, like, the license, like, they would have gone, oh, fucking sweet, let's run with this, and we'll do 1 and 2, get people dipping their toes in, and then we'll do 3 and 4 because it'll be an easy sell, But
to be truthfully honest with you, Cap, I actually don't know if I played Tony Hawk's 4. I don't know if I ever played that. So there you go. So maybe, I don't know.
Was it literally just called a Tony Hawk's? I mean, because, dude, I honestly played no skating games because I can't skate. But was it called American Wasteland or something, or was it just Tony Hawk's 4?
I honestly can't remember. I honestly can't remember now. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
not sure.
Grizz, at least you've got Skate 4 on the cards.
Yep, and there's also that one coming out. Well, the skating game that looks pretty cool. Devolver, yeah.
What was that one called? Something.
I have
it. It's like you're a glass demon on a skateboard, and you're not supposed to fall off your skateboard because you'll fucking shatter. Bit of RPG elements in your skating game, which I think is just such a match made in heaven. So I mean, there is stuff for skating.
You know what it's called? You know what it's called, Kat? You know what it's called?
Skate Story or something?
Yes. Skate Story.
I just remembered off the top of my head as you said that. Yeah,
straightforward, that one. Yep.
Yeah, it's it does look good. I mean, I'm not really normally a huge skating kind of guy, but I think enticing me with some RPG mechanics, even combat related to skating, very, very interesting. And the whole Tron kind of vibe
it looks
going
cool,
on looks really cool.
So maybe I'll take my frustration out on that when that comes and give that a whirl.
Yeah, well, I suppose the most important thing is, Grizz, like, fret not, friends, for there is stuff coming.
Yeah. Oh my
skateboard
God.
related.
Did I tell you what? There is so many games that are constantly coming out that are constantly. I keep going. Oh yeah, I've got to play that. Yeah, I've got to play
Yeah.
that.
Well, I have people like, oh, what games are you looking forward to? And I'm just like, I blank because there's just so much shit. I'm just like, I don't even know what to say. Yeah. Anyways, moving along, Grizz. From Software, the developers of such titles as The Elden Ring and The Eldenest of Rings. The next game's almost done, Grizz, which is quite a fucking feat given that Elden Ring just came out. I don't know how the fuck they managed to pull that off.
Did this surprise you reading this
Yes,
fucking
absolutely,
article?
man.
What? Dude, they
Yeah.
did a fucking Sekiro on us. I remember E3
Yeah.
came out, right? That E3 that I watched you do it solo, and which was excellent, by the way. Did a good
Thanks,
job
mate.
from Twitch TV / Captain Perf.
What happened again? Because E3's dead.
Yeah. And they showed a couple of clips of Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. Now, keep in mind, Cap, that From Software wasn't the golden child then, so it wasn't a AAA game, and not heaps of people raved about From Software. There was just like there was a diehard community, but not like there is now.
Yeah,
But I remember-
don't think it had quite reached the levels of ascendancy that it's hit now. That's for sure.
But I remember it was a big surprise to people that did love From
Absolutely.
Software, because there was like no media leading up to that. I was like,
Yeah.
here you go. This
But
game's
also,
coming
like,
out.
When did Dark Souls? I'm just looking up the Dark Souls 3 release dates. Dark Souls 3 came out in 2016 in March, and then Sekiro came out in 2019 in March. So 3 years later, I suppose it's maybe not as. I thought it was a lot closer than that. But
well, the thing is, Cap, I think Dark Souls 3 tied people over for a long time. Just with the replayability on that game is huge, right? I mean, how old's Elden Ring now? We've had that this year, but it's
a few months.
To hear
4
that
months?
they're nearly finishing up a new game From Software is.
What's the thing? Like, I would love to see a chart of employment growth in that development studio over time, because I mean they must have multiple teams working on things in parallel to be able to manage to get something like this done. I mean, the fact that it's almost done. So look, I mean, almost done can mean a lot of different things. Like, is it just finishing the development, like the development phase to the point where now we need to bug fix and do also like testing and all this other shit? So we don't know exactly where it is through its sort of software development life cycle, but we do know that, you know, it sounds like they're kind of getting ready to pump. Now, Grizz, I think the next big thing is talking about what this might be.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and just quickly before you say that, just to let people know, so From Software has come out that they're hiring multiple positions for upcoming games. So it was actually a tweet from the From Software page. So recruitment with multiple job listings, hiring staff for a wide range of positions. Now, the artwork that was depicted alongside this tweet, Cap, was pictures of Sekiro, Bloodborne, and Dark Souls games, as well as one, the mech armored shooter, Armored Core, which was a bit of a dormant franchise for them. So, yeah, pretty interesting. They're hiring lots of people. Cap, obviously, there's this game that they've got, which they said is near final development. But obviously, we know that they have hinted that Armored Core is coming back as well. And Cap, maybe a Bloodborne remastered or something, Cap, maybe something like that.
We can only hope, dude. I see a fucking Bloodborne remastered fucking rumor article almost every week, and it fucking kills me. I'm so fucking over it. But you know, I suppose overall, Grizz, like, this isn't truly surprising given that Elden Ring sold like almost 14 million units, like 13.4 million units. Like, that's a lot of fucking money.
Is that what it's at now? Is it 13.4?
Yes, at 13.4.
Oh my god!
I think I think if I'm going to put my money on anything, I think it's probably going to be an Armored Core game of some sort, whether it's some kind of remaster. Maybe it's a remaster of one of their more popular ones. I mean, I've never played an Armored Core game because I'm not really a huge mech guy. And I actually went back and watched a few videos of Armored Core stuff. And quite frankly, if they release an Armored Core game, I think it's going to be probably the first From Software game I don't play in my lifetime.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I'm the same as you,
dude. It does not
dude.
interest me at all.
Nah, doesn't give it to me.
Yeah.
What if it is another Sekiro like game where what I'm saying here is it's completely removed from Soulsborne and it's its own standalone, almost like
Well-
I'm gonna for lack of a better word, a one shot, just like a standalone game that is.
Here's
you
what
know,
it could
ba-
be, Grizz. All right, I'm going to put my money, not my money down. Maybe I'll just say what I think it might be. PSVR 2 is coming out soon. They also developed another title. Now the name was in French. What was it called? I think it's like Desserine or something like that. Deracine was it's a French name, a Deracine or something like that.
Deracine,
So, anyways,
yeah.
it was kind of like you will like in this VR experience
Tasty
where
baguette.
you're walking around. Exactly right, mate. Yeah. But that was a 2018 VR adventure title, and you kind of walked around this mansion. It was very non-From Software, frankly. So I could very much see an Armored Core PSVR thing come out. I think that would probably be the perfect mix of those two, of that genre with that IP. Because looking at the gameplay of Armored Core, Grizz, I just feel like it is subpar to what has been introduced in later From Software games. I know a lot of people who love mech stuff is going to fucking, burn my house down after saying that, but I'm sure they can iterate on it because these guys are amazing developers, but I just really feel like it needs something else to really give people reason to play that game.
Dude,
and I think
I
VR is
remember
the answer
Mech
there.
Warrior as the real old PC game. Did you play Mech Warrior back in the day?
I didn't. Honestly, I play no mech games, man. I just do not find them interesting as a
you know
point
what,
of
Cap? I'm
topic.
kind of with you. Although I will say this, Cap, on the job article showing pictures of Sekiro, Bloodborne, Dark Souls on them makes me think that there's also something else there that they're working on.
Yeah. I think there could
alongside
definitely
this.
be. I mean, it seems like they're definitely hinting at new IPs, and it sounds like they've got a big enough team to do all that. Now, for those at home that are like fucking hating mechs and stuff, don't worry. I also fucking hate superhero movies as well. So just so for all the Marvel fans out there, I do not enjoy that shit either.
Oh, yeah, someone
so-
actually. Okay, Cap, the people we met at the Lucky Shag
Oh yeah.
that night. Yep. They listened to that episode after that, and she sent me a message saying, "How dare you hate on? You were shitting on Marvel or something in the first 5 minutes." Giving you a hard time, man.
That's classic, man. That is so classic.
Absolutely. You know what?
it's
Dude,
just
I'm the
not my
same. I
vibe, man.
couldn't give a fuck.
It's
I don't
not
even
my
know the
vibe.
difference between Marvel and whoever the other one is. What are they called? Marvel and who?
DC.
Yes.
DC.
I don't even know who's in either. Like, who is in there? I don't know.
Well, I know who's in both. Like, I'm a nerd enough to know, the ins and outs, but it's just not my thing. The thing I hate about superhero stuff, Grizz, is it's the same fucking story over and over again. Bad guy comes in, fucking issue with the bad guy. Good guy kills the bad guy or sorts the bad guy out. I'm fucking over it, mate. Give me something a bit more interesting, that please. Anyways, I'm not going to go into a big tirade about this. But yeah, back to Elden Ring. The greatest game that has ever been created. Literally the top of the fucking pops, the greatest thing ever. You'll never beat it ever. This is the one. It's on par with Breath of the Wild, Grizz. Okay.
This is the Elden Ring podcast. That's right. We would
Yeah.
fucking know this stuff, 100%.
Yes.
Well, do you reckon they're
yeah.
hiring to help with the Elden Ring DLC, Cap, or do you think
I don't reckon.
already be...
I reckon that would be well and truly in the pipeline, and I would hope to see some information about it by at the absolute latest end of the year. Because I reckon that they probably co-develop the DLC alongside what they're doing with the game. Just because I think there's just so much strong continuity between the stories in their DLC content and the actual main stories. I think that it's a quite an easy kind of continuation in terms of development for them. So
absolutely, mate. They know that they've got a successful thing there too. They've already built all the stuff that fits around the open world and the way that works, and it's proven to be quite successful and popular. So why not build on that? Hey, Cap, I did just want to quickly add in here, mate, that I have bought the PC version of Elden Ring, and
I need to do that as well.
I'm going to play a randomizer. I've decided.
How random of you.
Yes. Well, yeah, I want to play a randomizer. I want to play no summons, and I don't want to play a melee build just to fully experience the pain.
I do want to try that multiplayer mod out with you sometime.
Oh yeah, I think that'd be great, dude. You can play that multiplayer with the randomizer as well, if you both have the randomizer
Ooh.
installed.
Okay, we can definitely give that a crack. I do
Now,
like the sound of that.
Pav did want to say something regarding superheroes. I'm sure you did, Pav. I saw
I
you.
was just gonna say I'm a huge MCU fan, but I absolutely understand the criticisms from what you're saying. Absolutely understand, but I do recommend check out The Boys.
Boys?
Yeah, I've
Okay.
been meaning to watch that because I
Very
think it's
good.
like the whole like the anti-hero thing is
Yeah.
is pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's essentially
um,
if superheroes existed in our current world, how would they act, and it's fucking good. Really.
Yeah,
Hey,
I hear
Kat.
the new season's hectic. Like
Kat.
really hectic. Yep.
What does MCU stand for?
Marvel something universe, Marvel
Comics, is it?
Marvel
Captains?
Cockring universe. I don't know, something like that. Got him. All right, quick. We better move along before we get pitchforked. All right, so going back, yeah, probably Armored Core. We'll see what happens. I'm sure that they definitely got some stuff in the works. I'm positive, Grizz. I'm not positive. In fact, I highly doubt. A lot of people are saying Bloodborne. Surely Bloodborne. But I mean, man, what the fuck is going on with Bloodborne, dude? Like, how
You know what,
can they
Kat?
have? Oh, it pisses me off. It's like,
I
Sony,
wouldn't
what are
be
you doing?
disappointed if it was a Dark Souls 2 remake, because that game sucks. They could
I don't think
make
it'll be a
better.
Dark. No, there's no way they'll do a Dark Souls 2 remake. They'll do a Dark Souls 3 remake before they do that, mate.
You reckon?
Yeah, fucking oath.
Probably. You might be right. How true was Dark Souls 1 remake to Dark Souls 1? Was it literally identical, pretty much, with new graphics and shit, or was
Dark
it
Souls
like
1 remake? You mean the remaster?
Remaster? Sorry, yeah, the remaster.
Well, I mean, it was literally the same game, just with upgraded textures. Are you talking about Demon Souls?
No, Dark Souls 1.
They didn't do a remake, did they? What the hell?
Yeah, it got
I
a
don't know my
remaster.
I got a remaster, not a remake, though.
Yeah, it got a
See,
remaster.
this is where you got to get your excuse me. You got to get your nomenclature correct, Grizz, because otherwise I get confused.
I would like a Dark Souls 2 remake, not a remaster,
Remake.
because that game sucks. They
is
need to
it-
remove. They need to
When you
remove
say
half the
remake.
enemies. They need to remove
Yeah.
half the enemies.
Start by
And-
deleting the game, forget it existed, and start again.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, classic. All right, well, let's move along, Grizz. I think overall closing statements, probably Armored Core, maybe in VR. We'll see what happens. But yeah, they've got other stuff. I mean, God, can you just fucking sort out Bloodborne, please, Sony? Christ, you're pissing me off. All right, Grizz.
Yes.
Sony PlayStation. Speaking of Sony PlayStation,
Mhm.
they're going to be skipping Gamescom. Gamescom is a games convention, I suppose, that happens in Cologne, Germany, fairly regularly, every year, in fact. Looks like Sony's kind of put out a statement saying they're not going to be in attendance. Honestly, not really. I mean, obviously, they have this other thing that goes along with Gamescom. So, from my memory, Grizz, Gamescom has traditionally more so been tends to be more of a developer.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so they have a lot of development stuff. So they're they have DevCom that comes alongside this, and often they, it's the kind of place where when like in science they have like lectures and shit you go to with people on the cutting edge of whatever science you're in. Well, they kind of have the same thing with DevCom where it'll be some bloke who's made some new fucking texture rendering engine, and he's everyone's busting their nuts about it, because it's amazing and it does 50% less fucking resources or some shit, which would be pretty fucking rad actually, now that I think about it. But so the whole idea of Gamescom is it tends to kind of take place in amongst a lot of developer focused stuff. So in the past, recently, it's mostly been online. Seems like they're having a in-person exhibition this year because COVID's kind of relaxed a little bit, in not literally, but you know what I mean.
So, Cap, this gave me big E3 vibes here, hearing this news, kind of, right? So, apparently, Gamescom was the long-range world most attended game expo. It moved to a streaming mode of the event in 2019. Since then, we've seen people drop out, like the likes of Take-Two, Activision Blizzard, and now Sony. And obviously,
are they saying it in the sense that I just don't know what's going on here? Why are people not coming to our exhibition?
Man, I don't know. My take on this is interesting, Cap, because I actually feel like COVID has fucked a lot of these conventions, right?
Absolutely, dude.
These conventions that relied on having some kind of
Well,
event in person.
Firstly, international travel is
Yeah.
kind of difficult. I mean, it's
Mm.
possible, obviously, but it's expensive, and also your flights get cancelled every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
You
Dude,
know,
I
and
had
on-
tickets to. Did you have? Because I had tickets to some. No, I didn't have tickets, but I was planning to go. I was fundraising money in stream to go to
Oh,
TwitchCon.
yeah.
TwitchCon, and then like COVID hit, got cancelled once, got cancelled again, and then I just haven't. It's been hard. But Cap,
Yeah.
I feel like with COVID coming in, stopping these physical meetups, that a lot of the likes of, say, potentially PlayStation or Activision Blizzard, Take-Two, need to
Yeah.
find some other form to market their games, and they're doing it in the way of their own showcases. So we have
Yeah.
PlayStation State of Play, we have other things, the Xbox Bethesda showcase,
Yep.
potentially the
But
summer
Chris,
games. I don't know.
Don't you reckon, like, just maybe I'm wrong, but I kind of feel like a lot of these bigger publishers, they used to kind of trickle their information out over the year, whereas now they seem to kind of be more so just dropping it all in one go, in one big bombing run.
That's very true. That's very
Yeah.
true.
And so now it kind of almost feels like you've got these conventions that are fighting over these access to these announcements, because that's what people come to these conventions for, right? They want to see what's the hotness and what's the new
Dude,
shizzle.
The timings have to be based around when people have got money in their pocket, right?
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
For example, before Christmas, you're going to want to be marketing and have your game released so that you can buy it for little Timmy, or your kids or whatever. Like, I'm sure that there is strategic times of the year where your game is going to sell better than others, and I'm sure that's how they've got these release windows and these timing windows around releasing bits and pieces.
Yeah.
I reckon it'd be a fine science. Well, we know that there's already, marketing, gaming marketers and other bits and pieces. There's got to be some kind of science that sits behind.
Well, yeah, I mean,
this
Cajun
kind of
Runt
shit.
in the chat is having a bit of a laugh about slashed market budgets. Only one convention attendance per year now. But I actually think there's probably something there, in all honesty.
Oh shit,
because
that's true, dude. I didn't think about that.
honestly, dude,
Yeah.
like, I think about how much money that people spend on marketing, and maybe there's been, maybe some internal stuff happening where they've gone, is it really worth our money to be spending all this fucking cash on multiple conventions during the year? I mean, they are super expensive to present at. I mean, obviously things like E3, like they would have had to pay for to put on their shows and stuff at E3. So there's a buy-in there, plus all the talent that you've got to pay. You're probably doing deals to get developers under your kind of umbrella that are third party to maybe release some information there.
So,
depending
Cap,
on
you
what kind of
reckon
contract.
developers and publishers would pay a large amount to get on these
Oh,
panels?
absolutely.
And things, yeah? Is that right?
I believe that's the case. Yeah, like players like Sony and Xbox had to fork up some pretty big money for E3. That's how E3 made a lot of its cash, and now it is making not much cash. But this is what I'm saying. I think a lot of these conventions are also like kind of bleeding money now, because they had these big kind of management teams and events coordination teams, and now they don't have these guys coming to kind of put on these big game shows anymore.
As if you're going to keep paying. As if you're going to keep paying an events coordinator for the last 3 years when you haven't had any events.
Well, mate, I mean, think about it from PlayStation's perspective, mate. Why pay E3 to put on a show when you can probably pay your own internal people to put on a better show that probably makes you look better anyway?
Yeah.
I'll
tell you what, I will say, Cap, that the state of plays that we have seen have been successful in my mind. From what I've looked at and compared to other kind of similar things like Summer Games Fest and other bits and pieces, and even the Nintendo Directs, I feel like the PlayStation State of Plays have generally been pretty high quality. And
yeah, well, I suppose the only criticism I have is it tends to be that the State of Plays tend to be third party focused, which is whatever. I mean, we have had the Resident Evil stuff that was announced at the most recent State of Play, so it's that kind of tier of stuff generally. Or they focus really heavily on indie titles that are coming out. Actually, Deb in chat saying that there looks like there may be a State of Play on the 30th, which actually that's another thing that we need to speak about. I mean, we might as well just drop it in here, Grizz.
Where would we see Elden Ring, Cap? Put DLC for Elden Ring.
I don't reckon we'll see it till end of the year.
End of the year? But what forum will that be announced at? Is it a State of Play? Is it a Xbox Bethesda?
Ninja's
Microsoft.
Fortnite stream, I reckon. That's where he's going to announce it.
What is it, mate?
I don't fucking know.
Bella
I
Delphine
can't remember
was
what he's on around
Bella
that time.
Delphine's OnlyFans, mate. I reckon she
Yeah,
was trending today on Twitter. I don't know if you noticed that, Cap or Pav.
Buy a pint of bathwater and you'll get the Elden Ring DLC announcement inside the fucking jar. But what I wanted to sort of say about this, Grizz, is it does seem that probably lines up with what Deb's saying. So potentially a state of play on the 30th of June. It does seem like insiders are suggesting that there's God of War Ragnarok news coming out. Now, this is a first-party Sony title, so it will kind of go against the usual kind of grain of third-party stuff.
Ruining my quickfire, mate. It's in the quickfire.
I know. Sorry, mate, but I
right.
thought we're discussing it now, so we might as well talk about it now, right?
Yeah, fucking bang it in there. Yeah, agreed.
So I believe that God of War Ragnarok, there's been no indications of any delays of any kind, and it's been previously indicated that they wanted to kind of bring this out towards the end of 2022. So, I mean, it may be very well that that this gets dropped here.
Dang, son. Good time to drop it.
Obviously, we know it's in development. It's just we get some info, but it does look really good. So hopefully, with a bit of luck, we'll see that at State of Play this week. But going back to Gamescom, Grizzo. No PlayStation. Doesn't look like Microsoft is going to be having an offering there either. They haven't really said an awful lot about what's kind of what their plans is.
Question to you, Cap. I feel like we saw E3 nearly die. It sounds like they're going to be trying to come back next year.
It's very much in life support. Fucking.
Do you feel Gamescom is potentially walking down the same path that E3 has just set out here, or what?
Not necessarily. Do you know what I think will happen over the next few years, dude? I think a lot of these cons will slim down quite dramatically, and I think then you'll probably just find that developers just kind of tack into whichever one kind of best suits their release windows, and then I think maybe next year you'll probably find that Gamescom has a higher offering of Sony PlayStation stuff because that's just the timing of things, you know? I don't think it's always going to be Jeff Keighley centric.
Now I'm a big gaming news nerd. I would actually really like to get to a game convention at some point.
Dude, absolutely. I've been wanting to go to E3 since I was a fucking child. A baby.
Dude, we should try to go, Cap, and do a OGR episode live from some kind of.
Well, Pav told me if we can get 3 more Patreons on the podcast,
he's going to pay for our tickets.
He's going to pay for our tickets. So there you go. That's live from the Pavlich's mouth. So there you go. Yeah, there you go. He looks like he's going to say something.
I'm already broke from the last bet I made with Chris.
I thought it was double or nothing. If we did Twitter followers.
Double or nothing.
So you're actually in the clear.
Hang on, Cap. Just wait a second. I'm just buying 3 more Patreons.
Hey, thanks, Grizz 1, 2, and 3. Welcome to the club. But yeah, all right. So I suppose maybe Gamescom might be a little bit light on content. It'll be interesting to see what they drop here. Who fucking knows, Grizzo?
Who's going to be there?
I don't know. Have they really said what's kind of going on there?
I don't know.
I don't think they really have. It's in August, so they probably got a little bit more time up their sleeve before they actually announce their partners. Maybe they have released stuff, but yeah, I mean, at the very least, we know that PlayStation, what is it? Nintendo, Take-Two, and Activision Blizzard have already announced that they won't be taking part in the event, whilst the verdict is still out on Microsoft. So a fair few people not going to be there. So we'll see who's left behind, mate. Probably. I don't know. Maybe we'll see Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 there, mate.
Yeah. Well, we won't be seeing those there. No.
All right, mate. Now, Grizz.
Yeah.
I'm going to skip one here, and we'll come back to it and we're going to do a full Blizzard section. But Sucker Punch, the guys behind Ghost of Tsushima. Now, it looks like they are hiring for an open world stealth game.
Everyone's hiring, Cap. All these games. If you're a game dev right now, well, actually, you were telling me that the game dev have real shit pay and stuff, but there's heaps of jobs, Cap. Heaps of jobs around.
It's definitely a labor of love, I believe, Grizzo. Like, if you compare the game dev salary for a senior game dev versus a senior software developer, it will make you make your eyes water.
So, Cap, I've got a little summary of what they're looking for here. So, interestingly enough, Cap, they have said here that successful candidates will have need to have played previous Sucker Punch titles to be considered for the roles. They are looking for technical combat designer, a senior combat designer. They're looking for a senior mission designer who will thread the series of missions together into an engaging and emotional tale. Now, they haven't said what game they're hiring these people for yet, Cap. But the article kind of tries to swing the reader into thinking that it's Ghost of Tsushima 2.
Which I think is a fairly decent bet, in all honesty.
Yeah.
You know, so these guys are talking about a stealth game with, you know, combat systems and, you know, talking about how, you know, balancing player abilities and with progression items. And that sounds a lot like Ghost of Tsushima number 1.
Yeah.
And I mean, dude, I'm all for another one. I never finished the first game, but it was a delight to play for as long as I did. I mean, I very rarely finish games, to be quite honest. The only game I've ever finished in my life is Elden Ring. No, not really. I finished a few more than that.
And the
But
Zeldas.
anyways, yeah.
Ocarina of Time, all the Zeldas,
Yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, just based on the things that they're looking for, I think it would make sense that it's probably a Ghost of Tsushima 2. There was a very big amount of, I mean, you can kind of take the original game in stealth or some more full frontal kind of assaults. But I definitely think a lot of the games sort of push you towards being a bit more stealthy with your approach to combat and whatnot. Yeah, it'll be interesting
the
to
game
see.
sold,
Exactly what this is.
number 1 sold 8 million copies, Cap. Which
8 million copies. That's actually quite impressive, to be honest, dude.
That is a lot.
Did you ever play it, Grizz?
No, it's on the list, mate. Well, fucking everything's on the list at the moment.
Well, Grizz,
but, I really do want to play.
We should play it because it's actually multiplayer.
Is it? Dude, I've heard on the hardest difficulty it plays a lot like Souls games, the combat, in terms of having to not get hit by the enemy much.
Yeah, it depends on what difficulty you put it on, because this is a game that actually has a difficulty slider. But essentially, I think I believe that this game is actually on the new PlayStation Plus. What is it? Not Deluxe. The other one, not the Ultimate tier, the one before. Essential's the first one. Dude, this is what annoys me about this new fucking tier system is I can never remember the name. Extra,
dude,
PlayStation Extra or something.
Yeah.
So I think there's Essential, Extra, and Deluxe or some shit. So obviously going live in Australia as of last week, I loaded it up and I couldn't. The menu wouldn't load for me when I was trying to fuck around with it because I think everyone was just pummeling it.
Did you get it to work, Cap? Is it fine now?
I haven't tried again since.
Done it, okay.
And I think that was like Friday night or something, mate. So probably. Oh no, it would have been Tuesday or something. But it was like an extra $3 or something for me to upgrade my subscription. So I was like, shit, yeah. But I believe Ghost of Tsushima's on there, and also it includes the multiplayer stuff. Because they kind of do that Assassin's Creed thing where the DLC is all to do with like gods and monsters and stuff. So I think that's all kind of in there as well. But yeah, very fucking cool. Dude, honestly, I think the coolest thing, and I believe I spoke to you about this maybe last time we spoke about Ghost of Tsushima. I think the best implementation with that game was just the way that you were routed towards your objectives. So when you didn't know what you needed to do or whatever, normally, you know, you might have a button you press and it pings something on your map or something. Instead, what would happen in Ghost of Tsushima is this big gust of wind would blow in the general direction you're supposed to go. And it would look really cool and stylized, and it would shake all the trees in the direction you want to go. All the stuff on the ground, like the grass and stuff, would kind of, you know, sway in the direction that you're supposed to go. Really, really cool stylistic choice, and they went quite light on the HUD. So, you know, when you're riding around,
love that minimalistic, mate. It's what you need.
Yeah, it really helps with your kind of absorption into the game,
Immersion.
right? Yeah, fully immersive. So, I think Ghost of Tsushima could be a cracker, mate. I mean, maybe they've got another Infamous game coming, Grizz.
Well, that's what I was going to say. My take on this, though, Cap, I'm very much in agreement with you. Add as another little couple of sweet points here that I think the amount of copies sold for number 1, as well as the successful nature of other open world games in a similar genre, i.e., Elden Ring and Horizon Forbidden West, that are released around the same time, this would be a clear winner, I think, for them to be releasing Ghost of Tsushima 2. My question to you, Cap, do you think that there's anything in the sequel, now that you've played the game, that they can improve upon, or something? Anything? Was there anything that frustrated you or you didn't like about the first one that you would like to see come in the next?
I don't know. I mean, it kind of to be critical of the game. I think it followed a fairly standard open world kind of formula. Like you go and find these towers, and you'd go and climb the tower to open up your map a bit more, and then you'd go.
Was
and
there
find
loot,
this...
Cap, or is it more?
Yes, there was loot. Yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly if it was if it had a defensive stat bonus or anything on it. I believe it might have had some kind of tie in there, but yeah, I don't know what they could really kind of improve upon. I suppose maybe make it maybe because the game actually kind of semi follows a real world narrative. So it kind of takes place on this Japanese island that the Mongols attempted to invade. I don't know how successful they were in real life, but I mean, in this game, they ended up not being particularly successful. One bloke just fucking wiped the whole lot out.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like it'll be interesting. I suppose in terms of what could they improve upon, maybe I'm not going to say more interesting story, but maybe take it in a new direction. Whether then the problem is, I mean, are they going to go Neo on it? And go a little bit too like kind of spiritual and all that kind of shit.
Bit too spicy.
Grizz, what can they do to improve? Probably just make another really fucking cool game and maybe make the loot a bit more interesting. Maybe make the open world a little less cookie cutter, if possible, and maybe they decrease the scope a little bit to and maybe do what maybe Final Fantasy 16 is going to be doing by hopefully providing a more concentrated and distilled open world environment. I still think that these guys did a really good job with this game, by the way, Grizz. I definitely think I'm not kind of shitting on the game because it's a ripper, but maybe there are some areas.
I've written down these points, mate, and I'll flick them off to the dev team so that when they make number 2, they've got all these things on ready to go, mate.
They should make. All right, here we go. Ghost of Tsushima 2, The Eldest Ring.
Yes. Okay, I like it. Dude, if they gave me another Elden Ring that's exactly the same, but just different items at a different fucking place, mate, I would stick another 150 hours.
I'd go for that
easy.
as well. Now, Grizz, here's another game that these guys did is Sly Cooper. Did you ever play that game?
No, Sly Cooper. No, never heard of it. No.
Yeah, I never really played it myself, but Sly Cooper was kind of like, I think you're like a raccoon guy and you're kind of like a thief and you're stealing things and
Sounds
running around.
Different to Ghost of Tsushima, mate.
I mean, it is very different to what they kind of became known for. I mean, you think about games like Infamous and you compare it to Sly Cooper, pretty dramatic difference between the two games.
It's actually interesting, mate, when you told me at the start of the episode that Infamous was made by the Ghosts devs. That completely makes sense to me because I feel like I actually played Infamous and I haven't played Ghost, but I've seen it and I kind of know what it's about. But Infamous was similar, mate. Kind of like it was a city, kind of like an open world city thing, and there was events and stuff. And you could climb up buildings and do bits and pieces, but yeah, I can definitely see the crossover in those games for sure.
Well, I'm reading here, Grizz, again, because I'm not particularly familiar with Sly Cooper, but it's touted as a platform stealth video game.
They
stealth.
Like their stealth. Oh, yeah, okay.
Maybe it's a Sly Cooper. I mean, hey, dude, let's think about games like Ratchet and Clank have had a new lick of paint with the most recent iteration on the PS5. Maybe Sly Cooper gets the same treatment and they just go all in on this because I mean, I tell you what, I mean, from what I understand, that Ratchet and Clank game was a cracker.
Oh yeah, dude, it's awesome. I haven't fucking finished it. I've actually started it, and yeah, typical me fashion. Just haven't finished it, but it is great. It looks and sounds beautiful.
Yeah, so maybe they do the same kind of thing with Sly Cooper. They give it that fresh lick of paint, really go hard on the art style, and give it a real nice kind of graphic engine, and just could be really cool. Maybe do a full reboot of the series kind of thing, because I guess there's probably a lot of people who haven't played those games. So, who knows, Grizz? One of the most frequently asked questions that people ask about Sly Cooper is, does Sly Cooper have a girlfriend? The answer is yes. Inspector Carmelita Montoya Fox. She's a sexy fox lady. There you
Oh,
go.
wow.
All
Cool.
questions answered here on OGR. I don't stop. I get the most heavily requested stuff answered. All right, Grizz. Next, Bobby Kotick.
Bobby
He's definitely
fucking-
putting the word fucking tick in Kotick because he's a fucking leech, dirty mongrel dog bastard. I hate
All
him.
right, Cap. So tell the people what happened, mate. What's going on with Bobby Kotick?
So it looks like, I mean, even after all this shit has come out with Bobby Kotick just basically being like the the personified form of just literal turd, they've still decided to keep him on as CEO of the board or whatever. So it looks like a lot of votes came in and said, yeah, you can continue to serve as.
So can I talk you through this, Cap? Can I talk you through this? So Blizzard has will have a board of stakeholders that basically get to vote on bits and pieces of the company, including the positions. Right now, if you were on the board of something, Cap, and you had invested money in a company, you would want to make sure that you were making your money, right? Well, it depends, but I see the decision here is a money one, right? They know that Bobby Kotick is a nasty piece of work, but he's probably a very good businessman.
Oh, I mean, he's undoubtedly a very good businessman. I mean, he's made Activision Blizzard millions of dollars.
So if you're on the panel of a stakeholder and you're trying to elect someone, are you going to think with your brain around what's the right thing to do, or are you going to think with your pocket and know who's going to secure your investment for the company? That's where I think this has landed. These stakeholders have just thought with the pocket and gone, hey, Bobby Kotick is good at making money. Let's vote him back in to be on the board again, which is
it's just really fucking sad, Grizz. We live in a world where, we just can't get anything right when it comes to sexual abuse or reproductive rights. Like, we just continue to make the same mistakes over and over again. And I think, all we do is we seem to fucking raise up these fucking absolute fucking blood-sucking, parasites because they make money, and it just kind of sucks.
Well, Cap, this lines up a little bit with fucking Blizzard's ecosystem at the moment. I mean, let's just look at it. Let's have a little chat about Diablo Immortal at the moment, which was clearly a cash grab on behalf of that game. And we're going to go and talk about Overwatch in a little bit. And I really do feel that this is the difference, Cap, between an indie game and a game that's run by a massive studio where you've got stakeholders, because those people get a say in what the company does, and those people are going to think with their wallet over anything else. I bet the people on the board of Blizzard, or the stakeholders on Blizzard, don't even play video games. They probably wouldn't even know what games. They're just looking for them to have a safe investment.
No, it's just an economic route to make more money. And I mean, that's what they know how to do is make money. I mean, at that stage, they would 100% just be looking at spreadsheets of people that they could axe or whatever else. It completely dehumanizes the entire idea of like working in a business, because it literally boils down to that point. And I'm positive that you're correct here, Chris. I think, people want to know, especially in times where, things are a little bit shaky financially across the globe. People probably don't want to rock the boat too much, whether that's a good or a bad thing, especially in this particular case.
Baby.
I don't know. I just think
so. How do we Cap, as a consumer of these things, seeing things like Bobby Kotick being put back on the board for Blizzard? As a consumer, how do you think we should be?
Well,
acting
in a perfect world, no one would buy their games, but we all know that Diablo 4 looks really good, and I'm going to be really struggling not to buy that game. And I mean, the problem is, dude, like, the problem is there's real human beings that make these fucking games, and all you it's hard to. I mean, it's you look at a guy like Bobby Kotick. He makes literally almost billions of dollars over, a 5-year period every 5 years. He makes something like fucking $300 million a year or something. It's ridiculous. And then you think about the guys that are getting paid fucking peanuts just to go and rig up some fucking skeletons on an animation. These are the guys that fucking matter. And it's all these people that get fucking harbored in these disgusting fucking companies that have these problems with sexual fucking abuse, and then You've got these companies that go into damage control because they don't want to lose money because that's more important than people's fucking lives. It's just shit, man. It just fucking
Yeah.
sucks. But
Yeah.
this is the world we live in. If you want to really make a stance, don't buy these games. It's that simple.
I agree. I agree.
Probably won't be able to help myself.
Yeah.
But I help myself sleep at night by saying that at least the money's going to paying these people who actually, you know, whatever.
It's amazing to me, Cap, because I feel like in the last 2 years, the media and everything else, media-wise, towards Blizzard in general, has been fucking not great. And I just feel like they're not making any moves to make it any better for them. But I also feel like they don't fucking care because their games are going to sell because they make good video games.
Oh, dude,
So
and absolutely.
like,
but the thing is, Grizz, like the standard person who plays video games, like, I mean, we are, again, when we've spoken about this before, we are so in tune with what's going on in the wider circle of gaming. A lot of people have no idea that some like goblin man called Bobby Kotick, it runs the majority of Blizzard. Nor do they have any idea what's going on with the sexual abuse allegations at Blizzard. It's not on primetime media. So how would people know? You know, so people don't realize that this is happening.
So maybe talking about it is a way that you can make people know. Maybe this podcast is a way that we're speaking out against the atrocities and stupid shit.
Yeah,
that Blizzard's
I think it
been up
definitely
to.
helps to talk about it and bring it to people's attention because maybe it might sway and influence them ultimately. A lot of people probably
you know
won't
what,
be
Cap?
swayed.
That's one of the
That's fine.
reasons why I didn't go and sink a few dollars into Diablo Immortal. I just kind of felt like that I didn't want to support the company, and that's why I didn't do it.
That's
so
fair.
there you go. That's
absolutely fair.
That's a couple of bucks that they didn't get.
Yeah. I
Take
think the
that,
most important
Blizzard.
thing here, Grizz, is like I think like I'm not going to be here and tell you how to protest this kind of shit. Like you should be well and truly happy to do whatever it is within your own means. Like whether that means you do go and talk about it or you don't. Like I mean that's your fucking prerogative. Like me personally, I still play the games. That's just what I do. But I definitely am not going to be silent about the shit that they get up to because I think it's important to talk about it. But yeah, don't feel like you have to go one way or the other, and don't feel like you need to tell every other person needs to live the life fucking way you fucking want to live it. Anyways, I can't talk properly because I'm fucked. But anyways, so yeah. Basically, Bobby Kotick lives another day somehow. I mean, dude, this is the same person who wrote a letter pretending to be a female colleague and then pretended like she wrote it when it was him all along.
Oh man! How do you get away with that and remain on the fucking board on the company, dude?
Mind blown, dude. I have no idea how he's still in there. I do. He makes them a lot of money. All right, moving along, Grizz. Overwatch 2. A lot of things coming out recently. So we obviously got the announcement that it's coming this year recently. I think that might have been was a part of Summer's Games Fest, wasn't it? That
and
was
it looked exactly like Overwatch 1 with some new characters and maps, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember you telling me at the time that what the fuck? This is an Overwatch 2. This is Overwatch 1.5.
yeah. I don't know. And I mean,
which you're right, look, mate. You're 100%
I think
right.
To the devs, kind of, what do you call it? To kind of enlighten people, there are some changes that are being made. They're kind of, I guess, remastering the maps and putting a fucking a Instagram filter over the top of the camera so it looks slightly different. But there are some graphical changes that are happening. I don't know whether they're all super in depth, but I mean the game will look better, hopefully.
The story is here, Cap, that when Overwatch 2 releases, it will literally replace the original. The original Overwatch 1 will be unplayable.
Now, that's interesting, Grizz, because I vaguely remember that when they first discussed that Overwatch 2 would be coming out, they were saying that it was going to coexist with Overwatch 1, and it would kind of work with how Call of Duty did stuff. So if you didn't have a map, you'd go off and play in a different server once you hit that map or something, and then off you'd go. Whereas I kind of got the vibe that was what was going to happen here, but it seems like they've basically just gone, so 180. I'm not too sure at that stage. Maybe it was supposed to be a paid game, and maybe the fact that it's gone free to play has changed that a little bit. But who knows?
Well, I've kind of broken this down into segments of discussion points here, Cap. The first one that I find really interesting, Cap, is that I found an article in 2019 that was saying that over $1 billion had been spent on the digital marketplace on loot boxes for Overwatch 1. My first question is, yes, Cap, how pissed off would you be? I know that you haven't got heaps of Dota skins, but imagine if they went to me,
Dude,
for example.
you
I've got
would
like
be
$900
spewing.
worth of Dota skins, and they said to me,
Oh.
Grizz, we're going to release Dota 3, but we're going to delete all of your skins. You're going to lose all your shit.
Surely, man, surely you can connect your account and retain that.
Well, what's it going to be? They can't give you money back. Like, how are they going to do it? Do you get?
Well, I don't know. I mean, are the skins going to be in the new Overwatch 2 ecosystem as well?
Isn't it different characters? You can't have the same.
Well, I tell you, yeah, I don't know. I mean, everyone in chat is saying, bet you can't.
I honestly reckon.
And if we go with Blizzard's recent track record, I think we got a pretty good fucking reason to believe that.
I honestly reckon that people are going to lose their skins, Overwatch 1 skins.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, maybe they'll get some
brutal,
little
dude.
badge, say Overwatch supporter on it or something that they've fucking spent money in Overwatch
like one of those
1.
birthday ribbons they put on your chest, like happy birthday. It's like,
yeah,
you played Overwatch 1. Well done, buddy. And you'll
Yeah.
replace it with something in about 2 seconds. Yeah, I don't know, Grizz. I don't know how I feel about this. I think it makes sense on a couple of levels because I know that they're moving across from the 6v6 kind of meta setup for the game into that 5v5 game. Now, I actually had a bit of a chat with a good friend of mine, Ryder, who is an avid Overwatch player. And he was kind of saying the 6v6 setup was kind of stagnating the game a little bit because it was basically you'd have two shield tank characters that would just overlap their shields and just rotate. And so all you would ever do would just be shoot down fucking shields. So he's kind of like in two minds about the 5v5 mix-up for the game overall. Will it improve the game? Maybe, because maybe that meta might kind of die. And now you've only got one tank character instead of two from now on. But there's also going to be a lot more pressure on tank characters. I'm sure they're going to get shit talked a lot. How well is that balanced in the game? How good does that feel in terms of a tug of war match, which is essentially what Overwatch is really. It's just a big tug of war game, right? Fighting over a point. It'll be interesting. Yeah, I don't know. It makes sense that they would do this, Grizz, because how do you maintain two different game modes, right?
I agree. And the reason why I agree, Cap, is I feel like, and I said this when Overwatch 2 was first announced here, that this is targeted to be a competitive esports game from Blizzard. They really don't. They don't have one. They don't have one right now, especially in the first-person shooter. We've got CS:GO successful, Valorant successful.
Do they have
Fortnite.
any successful esport games at the moment?
No, they tried Heroes of the Storm as well. Tried to crack into the Dota 2 League of Legends scene.
That's a shame. I really liked that game.
Too.
I just think I reckon they marketed it shit. I thought it was a fucking ripper game. But anyway,
I agree with you. I had real good fun, and this makes the free-to-play thing make sense, right, Cap? We had a chat on the way into the burger joint on Friday night, and you were telling me, what esports games have a buy-in cost? There isn't one.
Not many. Not many these days.
I can't think
and if
of
there
any.
is, I can't think of any. Maybe people in chat might be like, oh, actually, but I mean, like ultimately, you think about it, Grizz. A lot of kids that play games. Think about the games they play. Fucking Fortnite. They probably play CS:GO or Valorant. They're all fucking free to play, right?
Maybe Apex. Is Apex free?
Apex is free to play. Yep. All these competitive shooters, they tend to be free to play. And then how do they get people to spend cash? They just do microtransactions. So, and I mean CS:GO and Dota and all that kind of stuff. They do loot boxes.
Yeah. So I think this explains the strange release, right, Cap? This explains why Overwatch 2 is going to supersede Overwatch 1, because essentially they want anyone who's playing Overwatch 1 to play Overwatch 2, because they want to build that brand as being their esports brand. They want to look at the same monetization model, say that's successful for League of Legends or Dota or even CS:GO, where you've got those knives that are worth like thousands of dollars. People go and buy those loot boxes. You hear people.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if they introduce some kind of economy system with skins and stuff. yeah, be very interesting to see how they kind of market Overwatch 2. But ultimately, I think it makes sense that they're going to decommission Overwatch 1, especially if they're putting in all these upgrades and quality of it. I'm going to put quality of life upgrades in quotation marks because I don't think we really know how well the 5v5 is going to play out over the 6v6, if at all. But yeah, fuck, who knows, Grizz. There's also apparently a PvE campaign coming as well.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Draw
So
some people in.
yeah, I guess kind of get maybe the more casual players into the ecosystem as well, and then probably kind of try and get them into the competitive aspect of it as well. Because there is a lot of people who probably maybe like the idea of Overwatch, but maybe don't want to be too competitive about it because it's a bit toxic. But yeah,
Cap,
interesting.
are you excited, or will you play Overwatch 2, or is this something you
I'll
reckon
give it a
you'll
crack. I mean,
give it a
it's my civic duty as a gaming podcaster to probably give it a crack at some point, especially if it's over free to play. But am I excited for it? Not really, in all honesty. I don't think they've iterated enough on the original game. Though I think this is kind of the world we live in terms of gaming ecosystems and trying to create games as a service these days. Is maybe you don't change too much and you just do what you need to do to get things over the line so that you can create an ecosystem where you can sell a lot of fucking skins, baby, and make that cold hard cash.
I agree, Cap. I think this is like an Overwatch 1 remastered or reimagined to me. And I think, I mean, if it's free to play, probably download it and play it. But it's my personal opinion on it's not going to be anything groundbreaking. Cap, they're just going here for a cookie cutter game that can be competitive, that can stand up to those other games like CSGO and Valorant, etc. So then they can make the spondules, as Blizzard do, off a market they haven't tapped into, mate. They've got the mobile market now, Cap. They've got the online massive multiplayer, World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
They need that competitive.
They need the esports to go with it.
Esports, that's it.
Yeah, well, WoW esports hasn't quite made it, but you know. Anyways, all right, Grizz, we better move along because we're pushing time, pal. Okay, so
Roger, mate.
Just fucking settle down.
That's the main story's done, isn't it, Cat? Oh, apart from the couple of,
baby.
That's it. Ho-ho!
Now, on the back of this topic, Grizz, we've this week's Oceanic Gaming Radio poll that came out on Sunday because, well, just sometimes that's how the dice rolls.
Dude, we copped a couple of votes on it, though.
We did get a few votes on this one, actually. So, look, this week, guys, and now if you would like to vote in next week's OGR weekly poll, we run one. I can't fucking talk. Every week, generally on a weekend day. You'll, if you follow our Twitter at twitter.com/OGR show, you follow us there, you'll find that we post a poll on the weekend at some point. We keep you on your toes. We never quite let you know when it's going to happen, though it should technically be on Fridays and Saturdays, but we just get a bit lazy sometimes. But yeah, so this week's Twitter poll was, Grizz, we wanted to know what people's favorite, well, we said best arena shooter, but I think we're kind of just going for competitive shooters really now. I know we kind of probably, what's the word, offended probably a few people because I know there's Quake and Unreal fucking tournament and all the other ones. We get it. But we're probably going more for the modern ones that are kind of still being kind of touted as, high paid esports. So
probably those that are standing up to the likes of Overwatch 2 when it's released, Capo, right?
Yes, things in the similar kind of vein. So, Grizz, of the best, well, we said best arena FPS shooters, of the best kind of modern shooters, how'd we go?
All right, so we had CSGO. So just to say, guys, I'm pretty impressed here. We had 22 votes in the space of less than 24 hours, so that's pretty cool. Thank you for voting. If you voted, we had Valorant down the bottom, Cap, with 0%. What the fuck happened to Valorant?
0%. So we did have 22 votes, so no one voted for Valorant.
No one voted.
You know what, dude? I don't know anyone that plays Valorant.
Yeah. Sunny Movement plays Valorant, Cap.
I know lots of people playing Valorant.
Maybe I'm just a fucking boomer.
maybe Valorant. Maybe that's an untapped market for us. Maybe we need to promote to Valorant players because they're clearly not seeing polls.
Maybe we should put microtransactions in this podcast. Maybe that's how we get it over the line.
That's how we do it. Loot boxes.
Yeah. So
OGR loot box.
All right. Well, tell us the fucking
okay. All right. CS:GO. Sorry, Overwatch was the third bottom at 13.6 Then it was CSGO with 36%. And then right up the top, which is a much beloved franchise by many, Team Fortress 2, taking 50% of the vote.
Dude, this
Capo.
actually really surprised me. I've got to be honest. I actually
Me too,
thought
dude.
Overwatch might maybe go equal or something with CSGO or something. I didn't expect Team Fortress 2, but I mean, I loved Team Fortress 2 as a fucking young.
A lot of people
tiddlywink.
did, dude. The spy, so cool. You just get into the enemy and like just fuck them up.
Yep, a lot of fun
Loved
in
it.
that game.
Yep.
But yeah. So guys, if you're interested, next week, this week we normally put them up over the weekend. So just go and follow us on Twitter. Again, that is twitter.com/OGR poll. Now, Grizz, the quick fire round, mate. We're going to go through a bunch of interesting gaming topics that we probably don't have an awful lot to say about, but we just wanted to bring to your attention. That's what the quick fire round is. So let's start quick firing. We need to get a fucking Western pew 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 pew.
Yeah.
Or something,
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, a bit of Western music in the background.
Yeah.
Quick fire. I get it.
Yeah. Anyways, all right, Grizz. Mortal Kombat 12 has been teased by the Johnny Cage voice actor.
Dano299 will be very hyped up about this one. Capo.
Our good friend Dano299 is going to be stoked. Yeah, so it looks like, NetherRealm, the developers of the Mortal Kombat gaming series, they have neither denied or confirmed any plans, but it seems like the voice actor, Mr. Andrew Bowen, tweeted a video on Monday of himself on the Warner Brothers studio lot with some Mortal Kombat arcade music playing in the background and him doing some stuff.
This is not the first time this has happened in the last couple of weeks. We had old mate from Death Stranding fucking give away number 2 as well. Like,
yeah,
these
but
actors.
The funny thing is, this one was actually pulled down.
Was it?
I think so, yeah. So I think maybe he wasn't supposed to do that, but he was maybe trying to be cryptic, but then obviously was very non-cryptic.
Wow.
If you're the Johnny Cage voice actor and you fucking show yourself and have the Mortal Kombat music play in the background, I think people are probably going to start thinking and connecting some dots, mate. Okay, not very cryptic. You should have put a fucking cipher on your Instagram and had like some random characters and stuff and like wingdings or something, and people had to try and figure out what it meant. Anyways, bit of an idea for next time. So there you go. All right, Grizz, next July's PlayStation Plus Essential Games is leaked. So PlayStation Plus are still doing free games every month for the initial buy-in tier. So you can sign up to get those games every month. Now, what do we got, Grizz?
We've got Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, Dark Pictures, Man of Medan, and Arcageddon. Arcageddon, yep.
Yep, don't know what the fuck that is.
But Cap,
you can get
tell you what, fucking Crash Bandicoot 4 is a cracker of a game, mate, as a freebie.
Is that the new one?
Yeah, that's I believe it's the remake or the remaster.
Shit.
I think it is.
I'll have to grab that. That's actually pretty cool.
It's a good one.
I haven't played it yet still. I don't know. I do like Crash games, but I haven't been in the mood to play it for a fair while. So I've also heard the Dark Pictures Man of Medan. I've heard that's pretty good. It's a horror kind of thriller psychological game. So yeah, that's pretty good. The Arcageddon. If I know what that is, mate. That looks fucking weird.
Does look a bit weird, doesn't it?
Someone give it a crack and tweet at us on Twitter and tell us what you think.
Do it. I'll come to your house and give you a high five if you do that. So
absolutely. I'll allow it. All right, Grizz, new Elden Ring update is teased by a From Software boss.
Oh my god.
Which boss was it? Was it Margit or was it someone else? Got him, yeah, buddy.
Classic.
Okay. No, not that kind of boss. Someone who pays your salary.
This is cool, Cap, because they basically said in this article that they are going to continue to bring out content free for their one-cost game. Activision Blizzard, you bloody idiots.
Wait,
this is how it's supposed to be.
You won't pay for the DLC?
Oh, well, no. You'll pay for the DLC. But I mean, look what they've done so far. They seem to be just keep paying this attention, mate. Just fix the bugs. tweak bits and pieces, fix quest lines and story and bits and pieces. But basically, this article went on to say that since the new patch, there's been continuous updates, and it's something they're not going to stop doing moving forward. So it's not a release and forget.
Mad Dogs. Hell yeah.
It's going to be something that just keeps on happening. So it's kind of cool. Good
Cool.
on them. They made the
Okay.
money, Cap, didn't they? So
Well, absolutely, mate. I still kind of find it kind of funny that they released the game with these quests and NPCs that just didn't have their like quests flagged properly and just didn't do anything. So a lot of people's first playthrough was just missing shit.
just quickly, did you see the data mine into the merchant quest, Cap? Did you
I
see that?
rejig my memory.
Apparently, someone data mined that there was a very in-depth quest which didn't get implemented into
Yes.
the game.
So I believe the guy you met at the start of the game was supposed to go underground with you or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, could be something for next time.
Oh, yeah,
There you
baby.
go. All right,
Mhm.
Pokemon Go gets a brand new anti-cheat system, Grizz. Now, in the run sheet here, mate, you've linked the actual recording run sheet itself somehow. So I got
There you
quite
go.
confused. I thought I was going down
Right.
a fucking black hole of just information. I didn't know what was going on.
I swear I updated that because I saw myself do that. I thought I fixed it up, but maybe I didn't.
Yeah, I
Okay,
don't know.
I haven't got it either. Well, anyway, new anti-cheat system for Fortnite. I don't know how much of an issue that is. Maybe it is an issue. But it's supposed to fix some of the issues that people have with cheaters. I know that this is a very hot topic, Cap, for the Modern Warfare series with cheaters in general, ruining games to the point where you saw bigger streamers like Tim the Tatman and a few others turn away from that game for a little while. So I think implementing good anti-cheat systems in these games is pretty important.
Absolutely. I think people are doing a lot of like location spoofing to try and get rare Pokemon and do raid battles and stuff. So I think they initially tried to roll something out a while back that was accidentally banning players that were, normal players, not hackers and stuff. So it seems like they're bringing out this new and improved anti-cheat system to preserve the ecosystem of the game, which is great. All right, now that one's we've already done. Grizz, Blade Runner remake looks like complete dog shit. That is the title of this one. I actually have no idea what this is about, Grizz. I've not looked at this at all.
Apparently it's quite cryptic, Cat, but essentially what happened was someone was crowdfunding a remake of Blade Runner, and
Right.
it got shut down because they were releasing an official one, which apparently has come out with some trailers and bits and pieces, and it looks like shit.
So they compare. Oh, right. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So I'm looking at this comparison video, and it looks like they're comparing the one that was supposed to come out, or the original, and the new, and the other one. It does look quite garbo.com.
Yeah, it does not look modern at all. It almost looks like PlayStation 1 graphics, like the polygons and whatnot in there, Cap.
Yeah, even some of the animation cycles look really fucked up, but.
I never played it. Did you play it? I didn't play it.
No, I didn't. But it does look like complete dog shit. So I guess I'll continue to not play it. All right, a couple more here, Grizz. Microsoft has confirmed a shortage of Xbox controllers. Looks like there's some pretty major supply disruptions. Not great timing, Grizz, because they did recently open up their controller, make it yourself, kind of buy a bear or build a bear like controller shop recently. So,
not to mention the fluffy Sonic controller. Was that Xbox or PlayStation? Can't remember.
That cursed controller we don't talk about in this podcast, mate. But yes, so you cannot really. It's difficult to find an in-stock PlayStation controller. So you might have to do a little bit of hunting if you're in the market. Now, the final one we wanted to talk about, Grizz, was Fall Guys goes free to play, and it's on Switch.
Yeah, huge for the game, in my opinion, Cap. My daughter's downloaded it and playing it on the Switch, and I have heard from people that are in the know with Fall Guys that the new season is fantastic, and apparently it's bringing a lot of new players coming to play the game.
Looks like it, mate. They had 20 million active users in the first 48 hours of going free to play.
Wowzers! There you go. Well, I've reinstalled it because I wanted to see whether I could play cross-play with my daughter on the Switch. Turns out you can't, so slightly disappointed, but still, it's cool.
God, that's lame. I hope that we can kind of bridge this like crossplay gap sooner rather than later because it's just fucking lame, man. Get it together, devs. Well, it's
Sort it
mostly
out.
like PlayStation and stuff, but anyways, we'll get there one day. Anyways, thank you so much for listening, everyone. We bloody appreciate you. We hope that you've enjoyed this particular episode of the Oceanic Games Radio podcast. We do apologize for any technical difficulties we've been experiencing recently. We are working on the fixes, and
We're
we'll
firing
continue to
Pav,
iterate.
are we? Cap?
Yeah, so Pav's gone. This is Pav's last show, so send him the flowers to my address, and I'll pass them along. But yeah, we appreciate you. Firstly, we just wanted to thank all of our Patreons for continuing to support us financially. It's much appreciated. Thank you for continuing to do so. If you would like to become a Patreon, you just check out the podcast description. You can help donate towards keeping this podcast alive. And if you don't want to donate, you don't have to. You can simply just consume the media. Consume it in podcast form or on Twitch every Monday night from about 7 p.m. AWST. You can find us live on twitch.tv/Oceanic Gaming Radio. Come and say good day. Come and jump in the chat. Talk a bit of shit. Tell Cajun Runt he's a fucking idiot. Come and say good day to Ho and Honey, rest of the gang. Come and say good day.
Come say good day. Good day, good day.
Other than that, we've got a Discord server. You can find the details for that in, if you're in chat, you'll find it there. If you're in podcast form, I'm sure you'll find it in the description. And as we say every week, one and all, please just go and tell one other person about this podcast. It would be a huge help if you could help us expand our reaches. It'd be great. If you could just tell one person, your mum, your dad, your nan, don't care who it is. I'm sure they're going to love it. They're going to love all the swearing we do. It'll be brilliant. But yeah, finally, we're going to be taking a break next week whilst Pav moves house. We do apologize for that as well. Oh, maybe. Okay, he's kind of, we'll do a run sheet up and we'll see how we go.
Check it out.
Yeah, we'll see how we go. So don't count your chickens on that one, or your hens. I can't remember how that one goes. Anyways, all right. But yeah, thank you one and all for being here again. Appreciate you. Got any final words, Pav and Grizz? No? All right.
Negatory,
well,
mate.
thank you so much. Appreciate you. Take care and good night or good day.
You read Kazi's comment. My grandma likes Pav best. Can you fucking believe that?
I like Pav best as well.
I bought her a Team Pav shirt. Love it.
How are you
G'day,
freaking
Pixel.
going, guys? Hope you're doing well.
What's going
Strops, your
on?
legend. Thanks for hanging out. Deb, Spork, Pixel. What else
Bunch
we
of
got in here?
freaking legends
Caging
up in here,
bloody
Capo,
runt,
eh?
yep. Bastard. Eric, Ho and Honey, if you're still poking around. Sly Frostpaw. Snow. Hey, Snow. Who else we got?
Cue
Did I miss
the
anyone?
music. That was good
Got
fun,
Spork.
boys. That was a good
I think
episode.
it's Spork.
Great episode, guys.
Yeah, I
Definitely.
thought that was really good. Sukai. Oh, Sukai did make it.
Yeah,
Luckily
Suka's
he
been
made
in
it
that.
to the countdown.
He's been shaming me for writing
Shame.
FPS
Spork.
arena.
Spork's here. Yep.
Shame.
Shame.
Yeah, no, that was a really good episode. I think, yeah, we'll see how we go next week, guys.
Oh,
Hopefully, we don't have to.
I was just thinking to myself, all good for next week if you guys are, but the week after probably be
Week after. All right.
probably be a.
Did you know what? That kind of
moving-
works for me because I've got so much on that week anyway with work.
I think that
So-
might be the week that I need to skip. We need to push the Monday out anyway, so that
So it works for us all.
Pretty good.
That probably works really well
Pretty
then.
good.
Sweet.
Now, that podcast is official. I got to he mentioned twice he didn't play any Tony Hawk 'cause he doesn't skate. I didn't know you were a marksman in space shooting. Hey.
Oh,
don't know me,
Yeah,
Eric.
exactly. Or were you a fucking demon hunter slaying the?
Where do you think Elon Musk got all the fucking plans for his spaceship, mate? Fucking this guy.
Also, just
I
before I
mean-
forget, just talking to chat. How did you guys feel the difference between tonight's episode, which I broadcasted over Wi-Fi, compared to previous episodes? I found that we were having quite a few audio glitches. I'm not sure. I assume that carried over onto the broadcast that you guys are watching on Twitch as well. How did you find it?
See people complaining about it.
Yeah,
So-
at the end it wasn't too great. Something was happening, but for the most part, what was the comparison? Like,
Anonymous, g'day, mate.
was so laggy. Okay.
It was so
throughout the whole
laggy.
episode.
Wait, Kazi's probably talking shit. Potentially.
I don't know. I think
I've heard a few.
Oh, really? A few glitches and stream buffered a lot. Yeah, I noticed that when I first logged in. The stream was buffering for me as well.
Well,
Yeah.
do you know what? Pav will cut it and maybe just do a voiceover at the start and just say we're sorry. There's a few audio issues here and there. We're doing our best to fix them up.
Yeah, I'll chuck it in the title. I don't think it, because the thing is, because that was Wi-Fi. I don't think all of that transferred over the recording. Like, I don't think that went into the recording. So I think the recording is going to be fine.
Okay.
Kazi's telling the truth.
Yeah. For that, then next week I'll go back to Ethernet, and then
Deb's got a.
After
He's
that,
already
we'll
on
switch
the. Deb's already knows the layout of the podcast, guys. He's fucking all
Goats
over.
of
it. Already-
sashimi too. You're not supposed to eat raw goat. Okay, hell, that's a classic.
He's already got a discussion.
I
Love
think
it.
that was a joint effort from Honey and Deb.
Oh, was it?
I think
Okay, there you go.
I think that was a comment from Honey that Deb insists is the is an episode of the title. Title. episode.
Ghosts of Sashimi 2, fucking Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo. I saw an Electric Boogaloo somewhere there in chat today as well.
Trying to come up with something better than that.
I've put in Goats of Sashimi too, but any other opinions? Any other suggestions?
You know what? I think goats of. I think we're just going to reduce the amount of words we got in that one and just go with Goats of Sashimi 2.
Perfect.
Rumored.
The Goats of Tsushimi.
Should I put rumored?
Yes.
Goats of Sashimi 2 rumored. Is that what we're doing?
Yep.
Goats.
You got nothing,
right?
Kamikaze Crackers. Surely you got something, mate.
Surely you got something, Kazi. Come
I
on.
know
mate.
you
Sure.
got something up your sleeve.
Nothing from
pal.
Kazi?
Listen here, pal.
I'm sure I can think of something.
Grizzly Pavaloo. Yeah. Love that.
Oh, Sly's yeah, that's a fucking good idea, Sly.
Sly,
I like
that's
that.
genius.
Yeah, that's a ripper, actually. I like that one.
That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Now, next question is who are we rating?
Who are we rating? Who are we rating? That's the question.
Who are we rating?
Guys, do you want the quick
Tyler or
fire,
Swift?
quick fire descriptions in there, or without the times, or just quick fire?
No, just
But-
put quick fire when it started.
Done.
Bow,
Description done.
bow, bow. I was having a look through the podcast section. Couldn't see any that.
Oh, yeah.
were
Should we start
jumping out at me.
throwing us over to other people doing like talk show
Probably.
sort of stuff?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've done that, Strops. It's been a while. Look at that.
You know what's been a while? It's been a while since I've seen a cap stack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
cap
even
stack.
longer.
Fuck, that has been a long time since we've seen a cap stack. The old cap stack, baby.
Who we fucking? Where we going?
Pav, come on, you pick, mate. Your turn.
Me? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me pull it up. Where the fuck is
You're up. You're up, mate. Right.
Let's
Fuck
get
you
one first.
guys. Hey, fuck you.
What?
We had
Man,
seen Cap without
this is
butterflies.
scary.
Yeah.
This
Could you
is
imagine
scary
seeing Cap
looking
without a
in.
beard? Could you imagine that?
I've
You should
seen
try
photos.
that no beard filter.
Imagine it.
Cap.
I
Try
did
that no
recognize you.
beard filter.
Yeah.
And imagine. Disgusting. I don't know, man. I'm looking through the podcast section. It kind of scares me. I don't know if I want to drop any people.
I don't think we
anywhere in
picked some.
there.
I had a
Yeah.
look too. It's
Fuck
not
that.
great,
I reckon
yeah.
we just choose someone we know.
Let's go. Let's see.
Literally
I've got
anyone.
a friend playing Sea of Thieves.
Done.
All right.
Lock it in, baby.
It's
Lock it
good
in,
friend.
baby.
Good friend of mine was at Respawn on the weekend.
Okay.
It was when I was
Yep.
a fetus pixel. That's when I didn't have a beard, mate.
Super chill, pretty new to
Probably
streams.
week 1 and 2. Then I started to grow one. And then, you know, by the time I was born, I had full flesh beard.
Imagine Grizz with a beard. I don't know, man. Like, I don't mind a bit of stubble, but when it starts to grow out, I feel like a homeless fucking Mexican.
I'd love to
essentially.
see you full beard.
I get.
Can we
I
make
do
that
get
Yes.
real dirty.
Actually, I don't reckon Loz would permit it.
You would know it.
Actually, sure, she does love. She hates clean shaven. Me
Does she?
doesn't. Not a fan. Yeah, she's not a fan.
Either.
Not a fan.
I hate it too. No.
Dude, do you remember Jen's Kazi before we go? They used to have a guy.
Oh,
Like, do you remember
yeah.
him? And he used to
Yeah,
be
I
like,
do.
"Oh, you got no beard. You suck." And like he told the joke too much that we ended up banning him from the channel because it was fucking annoying.
So cringe.
Very cringe. Homeless
All
Grizz,
right.
best Grizz.
All right, guys. Well, guys, we're gonna do
That's
the OGR. What is it? What's the thing?
Smoke.
Schmark.
Smoke.
For that?
Get your raid on, baby. He was a piece
Um,
of shit. Oh
wants
my
to-
god, guys.
Here we go. Get that in you. Everyone, copy and paste
Richard.
that. We need to make a raid message copy thing. So we
Yeah,
can
we
just do
should.
exclamation mark raid.
Exclamation raid. Yep.
Oh yeah. It's a good idea. Check on the list.
Guys, thanks for hanging out. I think we just had a really good Twitch turnout tonight. It was like
Yeah,
20,
awesome.
20 for a little
Yeah,
while
we.
there.
Yeah.
I think we hit
Yep.
20.
Radical.
Thanks
So,
for coming in. We appreciate it.
Bill, appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you guys next week. Yeah, look after yourselves.
Bye bye.